Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking about XRP and Ripple. Not a currency, not a crypto that I talk about particularly often. We have made a couple of videos really just looking at XRP and sort of giving our view on it. You know, that it's been a bit of a lackluster investment so far in regards to a crypto, but that doesn't mean its day won't come. And actually today, as I was doing every day, I was scrolling through some crypto news and I came across this article that said Central Bank of Montenegro signs agreement with Ripple to develop a digital currency strategy and pilot. Where have we heard this before? Well, it reminded me of the Bank of England's enrollment or agreement with Ripple to kind of help pilot and advance their kind of digital currency. And actually, this is a tweet from 2021 that is a brilliant tweet that we're going to get into. But there's something interesting in it, and that is that one of the tweets plays a clip of somebody that works for the Bank of England talking about easing dollar dependence. Now, back in 2021, we didn't have as much fear around the dollar system, and really this massive change that I think has largely been spurred on by the events of March 2020 to the global money system, which is a dollar-based system. So even though I don't think XRP has been I was buying XRP in 2017, 2018, I have been and don't have a lot of exposure to XRP, but some, because I think one day it will do very, very well. Because if you look at what XRP is essentially trying to be, they're trying to be the remittance market, i.e. how value gets transferred. And it does it in a very efficient way. One thing I love is cryptos that do something different. XRP, of course, you've got Stellar, which does a similar thing, have literally focused on the money markets and the remittance markets. And this is a huge market to be going after. The SWIFT system process is a $153 trillion market every year. And this is given a kind of price prediction of XRP if it could totally replace SWIFT. Not sure it's going to do that, but really that's what XRP is trying to do, replace the SWIFT, which is running a dollar system, and essentially be the remittance market. And we are seeing, and really with the fall of Silicon Valley Bank, with BRICS and everything going on, a real moving away from a dollar-based system. Maybe, and I'm just speculating here, XRP could play a role in that transition. It's certainly very, very well timed. And the fact that XRP has not performed like other cryptocurrencies that are still massively up and you'd have done better holding, one day it may. And actually, when I think about the lawsuit, and we will get into the video in just a second, guys, it seems a bit funny that they only just went after XRP. And if XRP, which by the way, it looks likely they're going to win the lawsuit, or Ripple, I should say, Brad and Chris, it's going to give huge, maybe it has this kind of catch-up performance. And if you look from a sort of price point of view, XRP today is forming very similar structure that led into its 2017 bull market. But I don't really want to talk about the price in this. This is not financial advice. I'm just kind of saying I think that there's something a lot more that meets the eye. The problem with XRP is during this entire time period, it's been hyped to death, right? 90% of what's out there on YouTube is just complete nonsense in regards to XRP. However, some of it is genuine. People have just been probably very early to what is likely going to come later. So let's get into it, guys. Central Bank of Montenegro signs agreement with Ripple to develop a digital currency strategy and pilot. The Central Bank of Montenegro is bringing the next level of digital transformation to its financial infrastructure and addressing some of the world's biggest financial challenges, included financial inclusion. So they're essentially tasked Ripple with this. Ripple actually partnered with the Bank of England. This is old news, but this tweet is very relevant for today. And this tweet is by Bank XRP. Haven't heard of this individual up until recently, and given him a follow as a result of this, because this is certainly interesting and quite well put together. and then I will round the video off. So Ripple has been known for working with the Bank of England. Few highlights of Ripple/Bank of England related information in this thread. Feel free to add. It talks about our real-time gross settlement RTGS service is the beating heart of the payments system in the UK. Victoria Cleland and colleagues reflected on its quarter century of service and highlighted exciting new developments coming out in a podcast. You see the podcast is here, and this is essentially them talking about it. So, fintech acceleration proof of concept, Ripple exploring the synchronized settlement of payments using the Interledger protocol, full PDF. So, we've actually looked at this PDF previously. Fintech acceleration, proof of concept, Ripple exploring, and we've just gone over that. Now, this was really interesting because this is Bank of England's Mark Carney talking about, and I'll just go ahead and bring this up, moving away, easing reliance on the US dollar. Now, this was probably not a big talking point back then, but now it is extremely relevant, and we'll get into what he has to say in just a second. Sorry, guys, forgive me for that.
And you said we need to go to a global virtual currency. It's a 23-page speech. It's very heavy. Give us the thumbnail. Why?
I want to know. Did you just read the conclusion of the speech, Steve?
No, I read 14 pages, and then I jumped to the conclusion.
So what's the point?
Give us the thumbnail. Why can't the dollar be the global currency?
Okay, the dollar is the global currency. We know that. The challenge is that the U.S. share of the global economy has been reducing. The dollar's share of payments, not just financial assets, but payments. A lot of payments between countries that have nothing to do with the U.S. are in dollars. And what happens in situations like today, where the U.S. economy, to its credit, is relatively strong, is doing...
But bearing in mind, guys, this video came out in 2019, right? And this is when this tweet was read, or written, I should say.
Doing better. And the Fed has been doing the right thing, which is, they've adjusted policy, they tightened policy as it was strengthening. Now they're making, the Fed is doing the right thing, but they have adjusted and policy is relatively strong. That means rest of world policy is tighter than it needs to be, and that feeds back on the U.S. economy in a way that ultimately slows this economy, and it leads to a substandard outcome. And in a world where you only have limited policy space, it's a dangerous place to be. And so the trade issues we're talking about are reinforced by the structure of the monetary system. Now, I mean, you've asked a big question, so just give me a second to. But now the issue is, you don't just jump to something new overnight. And what we want in a multipolar world, I think we'd agree that we've got European engine, we've got the Chinese engine, we've got the U.S. engine of this economy. Multipolar world, you need a multipolar currency. The question is, how do you get there? And I laid out some ideas of how you would get there.
And the bottom line, Governor, is that all...
Isn't this interesting? Bank of England Mark Carney, an interview, a new virtual currency could ease reliance on the US dollar. A central bank supporting digital currency could replace the dollar as the global hedge currency. We've always believed that crypto is a technological advancement that's going to impact many, many industries. Finance is a massive use case for it because it just simply improves it across the board. From an inclusion standpoint, from a sustainability standpoint, from a friction standpoint, from a governance, it completely changes it. I think XRP is going to play a role potentially in that change. They're certainly very well positioned for it, certainly in the remittance market. And actually, it sounds like the new system, or this is what I think XRP is going to be, the SWIFT, the thing that moves and remits the broader sort of value system. I don't think it's going to be the next system in terms of XRP is going to be the currency we all trade. I think more XRP is going to be the underlying blockchain that moves all this around. And that is a huge market and solves a big problem, as Mark Carney's highlighting here.
All of the pressure on the difference in growth around the world would not fall on the dollar exchange rate. Yeah. It would be spread out if it was a global basket of currencies.
It would be spread out as global basket of currencies. It's better for the system as a whole. It's better. It raises that equilibrium level of interest rates.
Right.
It gives central banks more policy, but it gives people who are watching greater returns on their savings.
Well, certainly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant. He then goes on to say, Brad Garlinghouse, the Bank of England is a customer of Ripple, as well as other central banks. That is unannounced. So this is Brad talking about this. Only 7 seconds long, guys.
England is a paid customer of Ripple's. There's another central bank we haven't announced that we're working with very actively. The Bank of England.
So there you have it, from the horse's mouth, Brad Garlinghouse himself. The CFTC and Bank of England signed new MOUs for supervision of cross-border clearing organizations. And here you can see it here. The Commodities Futures Trading Commission and the Bank of England have today announced that they have signed a updated MOU regarding cooperation and the exchange of information in supervision and oversight of clearing organizations that operate a cross-border basis. Where do we keep hearing this cross-border sort of analogy or terminology used? Basis in the United States and in the United Kingdom. It goes on to cite a bit more. ANK of England Governor Mark Carney admits he is open-minded about the process of UK digital currency to rival Bitcoin, once dubbed a Britcoin. And we've actually seen this pop up once again.
To use Bitcoin on a transaction basis. You layer on top of that the environmental cost and other factors. It's just not that good at doing what it's supposed to do, but it does point the way in many respects to the future of money, and that's what's interesting. So there's a glass half empty. We're not worried about it displacing sterling or the US dollar or other conventional currencies, fiat money. But it does throw a challenge, these cryptocurrencies throw a challenge to central banks and those who oversee payments systems and markets of how to reorganize those to better serve customers. Yeah. I mean, so part of the genius, if you will, of cryptocurrencies is that, as we all know, they're distributed. They cut out the central banks, they cut out the banks, and they're ideally directly peer-to-peer between you and I. And so the challenge for payment systems is to move in that direction, so we can instantaneously move money from my account to your account to the publican's account, the guy who runs the pub, directly. And what we're doing at the Bank of England is we're reorganizing the core of the system in a way that allows new payment providers to just plug in. They could be using distributed ledger technology, they can use other technologies, and we're in a position where these innovative so-called PSPs will be able to provide those types of services. We have to meet the challenge of what these cryptocurrencies are trying to do. They're not doing it that well, but they do point the way to the future.
Isn't that interesting? You know, this whole tweet I found absolutely fascinating. I thought I'd share it and just share some views on XRP. I think it's sucked to hold thus far, but I think one day XRP holders may be very right. And ultimately, you know, I'll try and take a piece of that action. Like I said, I don't have massive exposure to XRP. It's by far nowhere near my largest holding, which may upset some. However, you know, it's certainly, you can kind of join the dots with XRP and Ripple and what they're doing. Look at the partnerships they have. Look at the goal that they're trying to achieve. And we know that it's not just Ripple trying to achieve this sort of integration of blockchain with the sort of remittance market. It's a massive global use case that they're actually making headway in. And some of the first people to be making the headway and likely to potentially be chosen, like they've been chosen by now the Bank of Montenegro, the Bank of England, you know, they could really sort of lead the way in the charge. And certainly if the lawsuit gets settled, XRP could be a good one. So all I've got for you in this video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, like, it's always appreciated. So as a comment, and I'll catch you all in the next. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next YouTube video.